The new ghost just admitted her death involved a trampoline, a birthday cake, and absolutely no dignity. And Slippy is already taking notes. It had been a few nights since Slippy met the new ghost under the stars. They had become fast friends, floating around town together every evening. Tonight, Slippy had a favor to ask. He said, "All right, it's story time. How did you actually die?" The new ghost's glow flickered nervously at the question. She said, it's not really a great story." Slippy laughed. "Trust me, mine involved a banana peel and a treadmill. Nothing tops that." The new ghost managed a small, nervous smile. She said quietly, "All right, fine. It involved a trampoline." Slippy's eyes lit up with intrigue. "Ooh, keep going." She continued, "And also a birthday cake." Slippy gasped dramatically. "This is already better than mine." The new ghost sighed and decided to just show him the whole memory. The scene shifted to a sunny backyard birthday party months earlier. The living version of the new ghost bounced happily on the trampoline. She was showing off for the party guests, laughing and bouncing higher each time. On one particularly high bounce, she spotted the birthday cake table below. She thought, "I bet I could grab a piece on the way down. Easy." She stretched just a little too far, losing her balance completely. She crashed directly into the cake table, sending frosting flying everywhere. The table collapsed beneath her, and everything went dark. The memory faded, and both ghosts floated back under the night sky. Slippy stared in stunned silence for a moment. Then he burst into uncontrollable laughter. He wheezed, "You died reaching for cake?" The new ghost crossed her arms, feigning offense. She said, "It was really good cake, okay? Chocolate with raspberry filling." Slippy wiped a tear from his eye, still chuckling. He said, Okay, that's fair. Cake is a legitimate cause." The two ghosts sat down on a nearby cartoon-style rooftop, comparing their stories. Slippy said, "Mine had a banana peel, yours had cake. We're basically dessert and snack-themed." The new ghost giggled. "Honestly, that tracks. We both died being a little greedy." They both laughed together, the tension from earlier completely gone. Slippy thought for a moment, then snapped his fingers. He said, "I've got it. Your ghost name? Cake Ghost." The new ghost tilted her head, considering it. She smiled. "You know what? I actually kind of love that." From that moment on, she was officially known as Cake Ghost. Slippy decided it was time to introduce Cake Ghost to the rest of the ghost community. The other ghosts looked up curiously as the two of them approached. The grumpy ghost mentor recognized Slippy immediately, waving him over. Slippy announced proudly, "Everyone, meet Cake Ghost. She's new and her story is incredible." The group eagerly gathered around, curious about the new ghost's tale. Cake Ghost, a little more confident now, retold her story herself. She acted out the dramatic trampoline bounce, arms flailing for effect. The group erupted into warm, delighted laughter. The grumpy ghost mentor wiped a tear of laughter from his eye. He said, "Cake Ghost, welcome. You'll fit right in around here." Cake Ghost beamed, feeling genuinely accepted for the first time since her passing. Slippy patted her on the shoulder. "Told you it gets easier." The group decided to start a new tradition, a monthly death story night for newcomers. Cake Ghost volunteered enthusiastically to help organize the very first one. Slippy smiled proudly, watching her fit in so naturally. He thought, "Feels good, passing on what I learned." As the gathering wound down, Cake Ghost pulled Slippy aside. She said, "I made you something, as a thank you." She revealed a small, ghostly replica of a birthday cake slice. Slippy laughed. "A cake for a ghost who can't even eat?" She grinned. "It's the thought that counts. Also, it matches your duck." From that night on, Slippy carried his duck and his tiny cake slice everywhere. The two ghosts became inseparable, floating through the town together nightly. They helped other newly arrived ghosts feel welcome, one embarrassing story at a time. Their combined reputation grew, the banana peel and cake ghost duo. Months later, the ghost community organized their biggest death story night yet. Slippy and Cake Ghost were asked to host the entire event together. They took turns telling their own stories, now polished into perfect comedic timing. The crowd roared with laughter at every familiar beat of their tales. After the show, Cake Ghost turned to Slippy with a soft smile. She said, "You know, meeting you that first night changed everything for me." Slippy smiled back, genuinely touched by the words. He said, "Someone helped me a same way once too, just paying it forward." As the night wound down, the two ghosts floated up above the celebration. They watched the crowd below, still laughing and sharing stories long into the night. Cake Ghost said, "I wonder who our next surprise arrival will be." Slippy smiled knowingly. "Whoever it is, we'll make sure they feel at home." Just then, a bright flash lit up the sky nearby, exactly like the night Cake Ghost had arrived. A brand new ghost materialized, looking every bit as confused as they both once had. Slippy and Cake Ghost exchanged a knowing glance, then floated over together. Slippy said, "First night's always the strangest. Trust us, we know." The new ghost looked between them nervously. "Does it get easier, being this?" Cake Ghost smiled. "Eventually, yeah. And hey, want to hear something embarrassing?" The new ghost tilted its head curiously, just as Cake Ghost once had. Slippy laughed. "Let's just say it involved a banana peel, a treadmill, and a whole lot of rubber ducks." Cake Ghost added, "And mine involved a trampoline and some really good chocolate cake." The new ghost's nervous glow finally softened into a small, curious smile. And just like that, the circle widened once more. A new friendship, a new story, beginning again. Because in this town, every ending was really just someone else's beginning. This has been part 2 of Slippy Ghost's story, from embarrassed newcomer to welcoming mentor. Cake Ghost's journey from shy and nervous to confident and proud, and a friendship built on nothing more than a shared, silly, embarrassing truth. Sometimes the most unforgettable bonds start with the most ridiculous stories. And sometimes all it takes is one kind ghost to make a new one feel at home. As the new ghost floated off with them, the town below glowed peacefully in the night. Slippy glanced at his duck, then at Cake Ghost's tiny cake slice, then at the new ghost beside them. He smiled and said, "I wonder what silly little souvenir this one will bring to the group." Cake Ghost laughed. "Guess we'll find out. That's kind of the fun part." The three of them continued floating together, disappearing into the starry night. Thanks for following along on this heartwarming, continuing, hilarious journey. From one embarrassing death to a whole community built on shared laughter. Remember, your most embarrassing moment might just be someone else's favorite story. So share it, laugh about it, and let it bring you closer to someone new. See you in the next chapter of this ever-growing, ever-welcoming little ghost town. Until then, good night, and don't forget, boo!